Hi, my name is Michael Waits, and this isn't just a special edition of Michael Talks Tech. This is a bonus edition of Michael Talks Tech. I'm sitting here with Tal Itzhak Ron from Israel. He's a lawyer, and he does some very interesting things at his law practice with startup companies and other companies, which I will let him explain. How are you?
Perfect.
What do you think of the event so far?
It's awesome. It's awesome. I really hope that you enjoyed it as I enjoyed. Well, I think that Venkatesh and his team did an awesome job here, bringing so many C-level executives here, people who really know what they're doing and what they talk about. Keynote speakers from Google, from IBM, Amazon. I really enjoyed it.
Really? So we were down here most of the time interviewing what I consider to be some of the most interesting people that we've interviewed this year. But we were unfortunately not able to go upstairs and watch the whole event. But so far the feedback that we've had is that it's been very good. And frankly, we interviewed CRV, which is his nickname. Great guy. Big vision for what this event is going to be, not just this year, but in the future. It's nice to see that for you, when you get to see the event, that it was actually as good as we thought it could be.
It was awesome. And what I liked is there was like a really practical hands-on approach. So I heard like Ronen from AppsFlyer gave a really good vision. Tiago from Aptoid also moderated the panel that I participated in with the guys like Daniel from ClickSmob, also Israeli guy, even though the company is not Israeli. And it's nice to see people from all around the world, not only from Asia. So the main audience here are Asian-based, based either here in Bangkok or based in India and in other places in Southeast Asia. But it's nice to see some unfamiliar places coming from all around the world. And we made like a contest who flew the longest, the furthest.
I think I lose that. It took me 15 minutes to get
It's a guy from New Zealand.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
So what was the panel that you moderated?
So I participated in a panel which is called Why Startups Succeed and Fail.
Okay.
And it was myself, moderated by Tiago from Aptoid. There was Govin from Branch, and there was also Daniel from ClickSmob, and there was Bennett also. And it was all together. I think that it was a really nice dynamic because each one of us spoke about something specific from his vision and experience.
Right.
And what my contribution was on the legal side, because I'm a lawyer.
So I was going to ask you, in a startup space, what you have a unique legal practice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what types of services do you provide to startups?
Yeah.
And how do they realize that they actually need to use you?
It's a good question because many people, start their thing in their basement, whether in Bangkok or in a warehouse in Tel Aviv, and at the end of the day, think, okay, we can start. We can do cut and paste from the terms and conditions that we found on the website, and let's put it inside. Sometimes they do such mistakes that they even copy the name or the telephone number of the original work where they copied from.
You mean in the contracts and the shareholders agreements or their legal documents, yeah?
Okay, so it's also the legal documents where they sign with their investors, which is one thing. But I'm speaking about even the actually terms and conditions that appears on the website, on the app.
Ah, right.
Okay, so these terms are frequently copied and frequently written by people who are not even lawyers or let alone ad tech lawyers. Now, this KV is something which is part of our job is to make sure that all these startup applications and these mobile apps and all these people who are doing all these innovative solutions and innovative technology will be covered up legally. So it's not only, as you said, the contract with investors and shareholders, which is very important, also not use only a template, but all these niche formulas of legal text should be all covered up by experienced lawyers.
So when did you get the idea to be a lawyer who handles this type of thing for startups? Because it's not regular. Like not a lot of people are doing this. Yeah, it's not common at all.
No, so yeah.
I don't think I've met another lawyer that actually provides that type of service.
So first of all, I met a few, but not much. And the question I get this questions asked lots of times. How come the lawyers who do real estate, lawyers who do civil, criminal law, all this kind of stuff, and my practice, which is now 13 years already been established in 2003, we do only gaming law, we do only mobile application law, we do only ad tech law. This is what we do. We don't do anything else. And we have like a team of 11 in Tel Aviv, and including all these affiliated entities, we have 80 people working for us. So
all lawyers.
All lawyers and CPAs and directors.
Got it.
And compliance people, but all together, yeah. So at the end of the day, we managed to build a practice that does only this. And
do you find it's hard to convince startup guys and gals at the beginning that they actually need legal help?
You know,
and are most of them based in Israel, or are they global?
I believe that over 70% of our clients are not Israeli.
Are not Israeli.
Not Israeli, don't have even a connection, a rare connection to Israel. 30% are either Israeli or working in Israel or catering for outside or working outside and have some Israeli people on the board.
So have you had any clients that have actually had a problem?
Yeah.
Where somebody else did their documents, somebody else did their legal stuff, and then they said, oh no, this is not working.
Yeah.
And then they call you.
Exactly.
Tal to the rescue.
Yeah.
And his team to the rescue.
Yeah.
And you fixed it.
Yeah, we try to. And And some of the problems, let's speak about some of the problems. So one problem can be that someone had an affiliate website and he said, come on, if you come to this website, you will win $1,000 a day or learn to win money if it's some kind of, gaming
so
or...
a scam.
It's not really a scam. But the way they market it is a scam. I agree with you.
Yeah. So
the marketing funnel is a scam, is scamish, okay? It's not really, it's a gray area.
But how do you stop that?
So first of all, this type of stuff, of spams, needs to be much more moderate, much more delicate.
It does, but I see, in my mind, right, here's the problem with the internet in some cases, right, is that if I have a shop on Main Street and I do a scam out of there, you can shut me down.
Exactly.
And then I have to go to another town.
Exactly.
Set it up all over again.
Exactly.
And if that works and I get shut down again, then maybe I go to jail. Right? But if I'm in New Zealand and I'm running mega.com, peer-to-peer, and you don't catch me, and I shut it down, right? Kim.com? Yeah? Maybe you will catch me, maybe you won't. But I can just move.
Exactly.
Because the internet is everywhere.
You're right.
And it's borderless. So for every person that puts up a website that has scam on it or win $1,000 a day, it's just like anything else. You shut it down. But it's like whack-a-mole. You just open up with another name.
You're right.
www.mynextscamcompany.com. Do you know what I mean? So how does the legal profession disintermediate the ability for those types of companies to continue to form? Right.
Okay.
So how do you get rid of that? How do you stop that problem within the legal system? Right. Because if you think that the law is going to protect people against that, which it should, but it can't, how does that work, like logistically?
I agree with you. First of all, I agree with you. All the examples that you gave regarding Kim.com and all his file sharing activities and everything, that's a good. Even though we do not take care of.
I understand that, but you understand the example.
Yeah, Well, we do not take of file transfer websites.
Right.
However, we do take care of, I don't know, forex and binary options, which some can call it a scam. We're taking care only of companies which are regulated and which treat their clients properly.
But I mean, a binary option and the forex is a really interesting concept as well, right? It's just like the poker sites that are in the Bahamas or that are in South America. Marketing the people in the U.S. completely illegal, impossible to shut down.
That's illegal.
Impossible to shut down.
That's illegal, yeah.
Right? Because the U.S., unlike some other companies or other countries, doesn't do so much filtering and blocking on the websites that can be viewed. So they just have to find the guy that's doing it or the gal that's doing it and shut them down, and then they move to Chile and do it from there.
Or to Costa Rica.
To Costa Rica, wherever.
Or to Panama.
Yeah,
Exactly.
sorry, I'm not a...
Look, the US,
I'm American, right? I'm not like a geography specialist.
You're American or no?
Of course. I'm not a geography specialist. I'm not even that smart. But I just wonder,
American and not smart.
But I wonder
that can be.
But I just wonder how it works from a legal perspective. Like, how do you shut it down?
Okay.
Right. And so I come out of a 25-year career in global finance. So a binary option or forex, it's really hard to do. But most people don't understand like what the SEC is. They don't understand the self-regulation of the financial industry, and they don't understand like what makes a forex trade legal or illegal. And none of them understand what a binary option is. They don't understand a simple option. They don't understand American versus European. So how do you, it is kind of scammy, but how do you stop it?
Okay. So my role in this game, I do not represent people who are, let's say, defrauded by this type of stuff, okay? Because I am the lawyer of, I don't want to say of the scammers because I'm not, of the forex, binary options, gaming, lottery websites.
Right.
So I have a side here. My side is with this side, not with that side. So for me, what is more
So
important?
for you, it's easy then.
No, for me, what is more important that my clients will operate legally, won't defraud their clients. Okay.
So you give them advice on how to operate within the law.
Exactly.
So that people don't sue them.
Yeah, exactly. And the
That's got to be hard work. It's like being in the compliance department at Merrill Lynch. I mean, it's just really hard.
It is hard, and this is why there's not many lawyers in this space. And there is an international association. It's called International Masters of Gaming Law. Okay, we have over 400 people, and I'm a general member there. And I can tell you that it's an awesome way to learn all the new trends on how to defend these type of websites.
But do you feel like your clients, right? So you're helping, you're not defending them per se, but you're helping them set up in such a way that's within the legal framework as it exists today. But don't they get the baby thrown out with the bathwater when they're associated with companies that don't have your legal representation or your legal expertise? And these companies that's right next to them with a similar name and a similar user interface who are doing the same thing but operating outside the law? Exactly. Don't they get, isn't their business impacted by the scammers?
Yes. I think that all these scammers and all these people that work with unregulated entities, let's say instead of taking a decent EU regulation within the European law, instead of having their own compliance, instead of getting their website tested by GLI, which is Gaming Laboratories Inc., it's a company that does testing, instead of doing all the legal stuff, some of them take a license, and I don't have anything against Curacao because we have an office there in the Caribbean, and I believe that they give a really good license. But at the end of the day, if a website, if a casino has a Curacao license and cater for the U.S. citizen, I believe that it's not even white or gray. It's black,
right? And
they're risking. At the end of the day, when my clients who are operating legit and have, let's say, a Maltese license and working within the boundaries of law and catering for the Scandinavian clients, okay? And there are a few of these. And they do everything well, and they pay back to the clients and do everything by the book. And then they're competing with some kind that on the good side have a license from Jersey or from Curacao. On the bad license don't have a license at all, and getting clearance through a bank in Azerbaijan, it's a problem, because at the end of the day, as you say, they take the baby and throw it with the water, and then already all this industry of online gaming will be sacrificed because people does nonsense.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of gambling anyway, but that's just me.
Not me as well. No, I never gamble. I don't smoke, and it's not me. And at the end of the day, we're not dealing with gamblers, and we're not dealing with, these are not our clients.
It feels a lot to me though like the financial industry, like in the mid-2000s, where there's just so much shenaniganry going on, and at some point, whether they're set up legally to, within the legal framework, the real question to me is not whether they're operating inside the legal framework. It's, is the legal framework actually appropriate for those businesses? I've seen this in so many different cases. I don't think so. In the financial industry, you could create like a CDO or a CDS. Why? Because it's self-regulating. So the industry itself said you could do it. So there was a legal framework around it, but the products themselves really were insane.
Agreed.
But they were just insane, yeah? But the legal framework said it was okay. So my question is the online gaming in the same way that there is a legal framework? I don't know, right? Is it as insane as this? I don't know.
Well,
but it appears to me that it could.
It could, but I can give you an example where I see there is an anomaly, a certain anomaly. Some of the, I believe one of the biggest verticals now in the US is what we call fantasy sports.
Yeah.
Okay, fantasy sports is the next big thing. Everybody's speaking about.
You saw the DraftKings?
Yeah, DraftKings.
Shut down in New York, yeah.
Exactly. So DraftKings, that's a good example. DraftKings was shut down by the General Tony.
And FanDuel, yeah.
And FanDuel as well. And this exactly shocked all the world. How come?
Well, because they figured that seasonal betting was okay.
Exactly.
But day-to-day betting was just gambling.
Exactly.
So they say that the seasonal betting wasn't betting; it was entertainment.
Exactly.
Right.
Because for season long, and
season long is just entertaining me. I put in $10 and I'm just entertained. But daily betting, daily stuff was, this is gambling.
It's so weird.
Right.
It's so weird, and that's exactly a very, very good example. And exactly, because if you see, there is no such big difference. if I'm a DFS fan and I'm gambling, I don't know, not really gambling, but I'm playing and I'm, making my own fantasy team, my dream team, and I'm playing against someone else, and it's on a daily basis, it will be considered as gambling in certain states of the United States. So
see, this is my point, right? So the DraftKings and the FanDuel teams will argue we're operating with inside the law.
Yeah, I agree with them, by the way.
They are, but it's still gambling. So the law it is.
What do you think? And look, I'm the lawyer. There is DraftKings, there is FanDuel, there's a third company.
But watch what's going to happen, though. Because this was my whole point about it, right? And that is that the internet moves so fast that the law can't catch up with it. It's the same thing, right? It's the same thing. So they're going to get regulated, and they're going to say that daily stuff is gambling. Now, they might create other regulations around it and allow the business to exist, but they're going to regulate it. Because the law now that governs that is just inappropriate for that business, according to the legal authorities, not according to me. Otherwise, they wouldn't have shut those businesses down. So again, it feels a lot to me like the financial industry in 2007 and 2006 and 2008. Right? So if you go back and look at all the mortgage products, all the bullshit that was created, they crushed they should have been shut down as well, but they weren't, and watch what happened. So what's going to happen to DraftKings and FanDuel and other companies like that, I love it. Let everybody do fantasy sports. I don't care. I've got nothing against those companies. They'll stay around. They'll make their money. They'll be multi-billion-dollar companies, and that's awesome because they're filling a need. People want to do fantasy sports.
What you now say is exactly what is behind the curtains in all this industry. Because as I said, there is FanDuel, there is Draft Heroes, there's a third company called Fantasy Network Limited, okay? It's an Israeli company listed on the stock exchange. As far as I know, the first time that the fantasy sports company is listed on a public stock exchange in Tel Aviv. They are my clients, like these people. And what I can tell you, that again, we have a dialogue regarding what will happen next. If it will be shut down in all the places or only in New York and these five countries. And for me, I really hope that exactly what we now said about the baby and the water, that at the end of the day, people will don't say, okay, fantasy sports is a gambling, come on, I believe that regulation is good, but as long as the regulation is clear. Now, what you now mentioned is what's happening now with the fantasy sports space is there's a lot of gray. There's a lot of gray.
Exactly.
A lot of gray.
Exactly. Anyway. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.
This was awesome.
Thank you very much. And
it was great.
See you.
Don't get up. It was great. I'd like to thank Tal Itzhak Ron for coming.
How can you say that? Normally, Itzhak sounds very difficult.
Itzhak.
Itzhak.
It's my grandfather's name. I had a teacher, his name was Itzhak. I mean, it's so easy to say. Anyway, thank you very much. This was a bonus, a major bonus edition of Michael Talks Tech. Thank you. We have an amazing lineup of guests today. Chris KROL, building apps can be silly crazy. Guillaume Sachet, modernizing media. SHAWN, video ads get personal. NIKKI ASSAVATHORN, building a mobile game studio. WASIN THONKAEW, indie games. DJOANN, a story of community building and company building. CRV, GMASA founder and sponsor of this conference. NAMRATA KAPUR, insights on cloud services for startups. LAIS de Oliveira, started the Airbnb for office space in Southeast Asia. SAMSON MASIH, 50 billion impressions? Wow. Tal Itzhak Ron, he'll tell us things about online gambling that you won't believe.